hospital down overnight. No explanation, no investigation. Every patient inside was marked as missing. CCTV footage ended at exactly 2:17 a.m. and the last audio recording was someone whispering, "Don't let it hear you." It was well past midnight. Not the kind of midnight people talk about casually. This was the kind where the world feels unfinished. The road was empty. No cars, no lights, just my headlights cutting through thick fog. Every mile I drove, the air felt heavier, like I was getting closer to something that didn't want to be found, yet wanted to be seen. Somewhere at the end of this road stood St. Holloway Hospital, a place no one visited, not even by accident. Earlier that day, an old man at a gas station had looked at me strangely. When I told him where I was going, his smile disappeared. He leaned closer and whispered, "People don't get lost there, they get taken." I laughed at the time. I wish I hadn't. The hospital gate was already open. That bothered me more than if it had been locked. The metal groaned softly as it moved, even though the air was still. When I stepped out of my car, the fog closed in behind me. The road vanished. St. Holloway loomed in front of me. Its walls were cracked like old bones. Windows stared back like empty eye sockets. Some buildings feel abandoned. This one felt aware, as if it knew I was there and had been waiting. The front doors were slightly open, just enough to invite curiosity. When I touched them, they felt damp. Not with rain, with something else. They opened with a long, painful creak, a sound that echoed too deeply for an empty place.
Cold wrapped around me instantly. My breath fogged the air. The smell was overwhelming. Old disinfectant, rusted metal, and something spoiled, something human. I took one step inside, then another. The door slowly closed behind me.
My footsteps echoed loudly, too loudly. When I stopped walking, the echoes kept going, as if someone else was following my steps, perfectly, a second too late. The hallway stretched endlessly. Doors on both sides, each marked with faded numbers. I imagined patients lying inside, waiting, crying. One door trembled slightly, then began to open.
"Help me!" The voice was weak, dry. It sounded like it hadn't spoken in years. I froze. The voice came again, closer. "Please, don't leave me."
That was when I understood something terrifying. The hospital wasn't empty, it was crowded, just not with the living. The nurse station looked abandoned in a hurry, files scattered, coffee cups still on the desk. A chair slowly rocked back and forth, as if someone had just stood up and walked away.
A sound echoed from above, heavy footsteps, dragging. Step, pause, step, then silence, right above my head.
The elevator lights flickered to life. The doors slid open. Inside was complete darkness. Then I heard it. Breathing. Slow. Wet. Hungry. A wheelchair rolled into the hallway. Its wheels squeaked softly. It stopped inches from my feet, still moving slightly, like someone had just let go. Small beds lined the room. Toys lay scattered across the floor. Crayons, drawings. One teddy bear slowly turned its head toward me. Its stitched smile looked wrong.
A shadow stretched across the wall, tall, thin. But when I turned around, nothing was there. The shadow stayed.
A whisper said my name. Soft, intimate, as if it knew me, as if it had always known me. A metal door stood at the end of the hall. Basement, staff only. Cold air poured from beneath it. The smell was stronger down there, older, angrier. The stairs spiraled downward. Each step felt heavier, like something was pulling me down or keeping me from going back up.
At the bottom stood a nurse, her uniform torn and stained. Her face was gone. Just smooth skin. She tilted her head toward me.
When she screamed, it wasn't one voice, it was dozens. Patients, children, doctors, all screaming together.
I ran. The hospital changed. Hallways twisted. Doors slammed. The building itself chased me.
Cold hands grabbed my ankle. I fell hard. The lights exploded. Everything went black.
I woke in a small room, shelves packed with files. Every file had the same word stamped in red, missing. Some files had today's date. A tape recorder clicked on. A shaking voice whispered, "If anyone hears this, don't come here at night." Another voice whispered closer to my ear, "We told you." Fresh blood led away from the room. I followed it, not because I wanted to, but because my feet moved on their own. The operating room lights flickered. The table straps hung loose. Metal tools clinked together, preparing. A heart monitor turned on. Beep, beep. The sound grew faster, then flatlined. Something laughed.
A drawing on the wall showed stick figures, a hospital, and a tall black shape above it, written below, "It won't let us go." A door chained shut. Deep scratches covered the wood. Breathing came from inside, waiting to be opened.
My watch froze, my phone went dark. Time didn't exist here, only the hospital did. Whispers surrounded me, hundreds of them, all saying one word: "Stay!"
The hospital wasn't haunted, it was alive, and it fed on fear. An exit sign glowed brightly. Hope surged. I ran and hit a wall. the sign vanished.
Footsteps thundered behind me, fast, unnatural. Breath brushed my neck. I burst through the front doors, collapsed onto the ground. The hospital stood silent again. My hand burned, dark fingerprints covered my skin, not mine. Weeks passed. I couldn't sleep. I heard machines beeping at night. I smelled disinfectant everywhere. Sometimes I hear my name whispered in the dark from places that shouldn't exist. St. Holloway Hospital is still there, waiting. And if you ever hear a place calling you, don't answer. This was Midnight Whispers, and you were never alone.
If this story kept you awake tonight, if the silence felt a little heavier, then you already know why you're here. This channel is for those who listen after midnight, for the stories that stay with you long after the lights are off. If you don't want to face the dark alone, subscribe to Midnight Whispers. New stories every week. Until then, listen carefully, because the night is never truly quiet.